World Environment Day, we're all thinking about how do we achieve the big changes in environmental impact. We tend to focus a lot on announceables, on technologies, on solutions that you can spend some money on or do a big tick against. But for those things to be accepted, used and possible, there's a behavioural change component for them as well. Choices that might have been made decades ago or in distant places about past technologies actually shape what's possible now. And so for all those reasons, we think it's really important to think about the social and behavioural dimensions of environmental change as much as you do about those tech fixes. So if everyone, everywhere, all at once, to reference a current movie, substituted everyone's private vehicle for an electric car, change our baseload power, or radically increase the energy efficiency of homes. For any of that to be possible, we also need to change how people live and act. It's not going to happen on its own. So the solution is not purely technological at all. There's the social and behavioural elements to it. It's only the case for the last, well, really from the 1960s onwards, that we really prioritise planning in cities and landscapes for cars and for particularly petrol cars. Before that, people were owning a lower number of private vehicles. They were more likely to be using public transport. They're more likely to walk. They're more likely to live in close proximity to the places where they worked and lived. And these are all, if you like, social and behavioural choices. Yeah, so the good and the bad news is that we're really good at adapting to these situations that we create or are imposed upon us. The pandemic is another example of, probably something that we might not have anticipated, but it led to us, at least temporarily, reducing global emissions by about 7%. Suddenly we had to enjoy our local environments a lot more and do travel within the country. Things that seem like they're necessary and certain and what everyone does can change very quickly under the right circumstances. The bad news is that for all that you can point at examples of good environmental behaviour in all kinds of areas, in most cases that's an isolated minority of people, and to achieve the kinds of transitions we need to achieve, everyone needs to change. This relates, I guess, to the idea of many small changes leading to tipping points. One very simple fundamental thing which would be good environmentally and for people's well-being would be to take a breath and slow down. I think many of the problematic environmental behaviours come from trying to fit in more experiences, more enjoyment, more status, more achievement, and therefore more consumption. Whereas a lot of what we actually value in life and what make us feel good and what often is more environmentally friendly is stuff that's a bit more local, a bit more dependent on the people around us for it to happen, requires sharing knowledge and skills and working together, enjoying your local environment and so on. So I think if there's one thing we could do that would fundamentally help, it would be to step back a bit from the daily grind of rush, 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 consume, consume, consume. Just try and be a little bit mindful and appreciate and enjoy what we're doing. Walk or ride your bike to get somewhere. Go to the effort of repairing an item instead of buying a new one. Because if we do more of that, then we get the reduced environmental impact and we get a better life as well.